At the end of the week, tonight's session, Monday's session that Dakota did, and then also tomorrow's will all go on YouTube. So you'll be able to go back and review at any time. I've got with us from my race pass, I have Dakota in here to answer questions. He'll monitor the chat for questions and let me know if there's something that I should bring to the group. I also have Michael Braggs here as well. He is one of the two that we've hired in Australia, so it's weird hours for him. So thanks, Mr. Braggs, for showing up. But he can answer any of your questions as well, especially if they come with an Australian accent. He can help with that as well. So I'll get started here. We're recording, and I will share my screen. Some of you have already. If you can, for our purposes, for our help, if you can go in the chat, share the track that you're with, just so we can keep an internal record of who we've talked to here at My Race Pass. But I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to get started with tickets. We're going to talk a lot about tickets because we have done a lot over the last couple of years with tickets. So I'm really excited to be able to show you some of these things. We have first, over the last year and a half, completely changed the look of our ticket management screen. So if it's been more than a year since you've clicked on this ticket icon, this is going to look dramatically different for you. This was part of the old interface for a long time. Now it has changed. So on this main screen, what you're going to see here are all of the single event tickets you have added, as well as the payout status, the visibility, and the sales report, link to the sales report. By default, it's going to show you only the active tickets that you have. So the ones that are publicly available and ready for purchase. You can change that to show disabled tickets or tickets that you have active, but they're hidden from public view or whatever. All of those types of things. But this is what's here. So I have some old tickets that require action, and I have some current tickets that we can look at to edit and change and whatever else. And I wanted to show you both of those things. So first off, link on the right-hand side of the screen. It's the sales report. You can get there by clicking on the customers tab on the left as well, and then searching for the specific event. This is just a really easy and fast way to be able to get there. So for this event, on 12/30, we sold 32 tickets. So you can click on that to get directly to the sales report. From this screen, you can see how many were purchased online, how many were purchased in the box office, how many were redeemed at the gate during your event, how many were refunded, all those types of things. Look at people's individual and unique invoices. You can print a few reports off of this. You can print a tickets report, which is literally just a report that's going to show you all the tickets that were sold for that night. I mean, it's the same window. You can just export it into Excel or a PDF or whatever. You can print a box office report. So how many tickets you sold at the front gate in our box office system. You can print a customer report, which is just customer information is what it sounds like for each person that bought a ticket. And then a sales audit report is going to give you more specific financial information on what you're making back from these tickets. All of that kind of stuff is there. Let's go back to the ticket screen. I want to go in and look at one of these tickets. It's all really self-explanatory stuff, right? The name of the ticket, which is going to default to the event name, but you can change that if you need to. Description information that you want people to see when they buy. Availability dates. Visibility, like we already mentioned. Is it public? Is it not public? Is it some other status? All that kind of stuff. A lot of this is review, right? Ticket types that are available. Everything from a pit pass with the number of available and the price and a pre-sale price and all that. BOGOs and a ticket coupon. So let me go through some of these things a little bit more specifically. The ticket types and prices is what it sounds like, right? The general admission, how many are available, what is the cost, all of those types of things. The new thing in this screen is the waiver type. If you have not heard, we have tried to email everyone 104 times, but if you have not heard, we can do digital waivers now. We've had this available here for a month or two. A lot of folks are signing up for the digital waiver. Really, really excited about it. If you have SIS insurance or K&K insurance, we have worked with those companies, directly with those companies, to get their waiver, language into our platform. They have approved the process. It's all there. It's available for them. A couple of notes about this. We don't do a minor release form. From a legal perspective, much more complicated. So for this version 1 of getting waivers out there, we didn't touch minor release forms. But if you want somebody to be able to buy a pit pass, be delivered a waiver, sign that waiver digitally, and then you approve it at the back gate, we can do that. We have that ability here. So that's one of the big, big new features. You can excuse me here for a second. Sorry about that. That's one of the big new features that we've got for 2026, digital waivers through our ticket platform. And I'll show you what that looks like as a customer here pretty soon as well. But yeah, people can sign online. Then you can digitally have access to be able to view the waivers. So you can log into what's called a promoter profile. You can view the waivers. Everything about the waiver is time-stamped. So when they bought the ticket, when the waiver was opened for the first time, when they signed it, when they submitted it, if you redeem it, when it was redeemed at the back gate, all of those things time-stamped, and then your insurance company has access to be able to log in and view that as well. So if there is a claim, SIS or K&K, whichever one, can log into that profile, pull that waiver for that person. But then because it is name-based, the other thing that they can do is search for that name and see if that person has filled in a waiver ever at your racetrack, and it's been captured digitally. So if that person's approved or signed that waiver 6 times throughout the course of the year, that kind of user history for the waivers can make a difference for the insurance company as well, and whatever the next steps are. So yeah, digital waivers. If you have any questions about that, please ask. Feel free to put it in the chat and we can address it. But that's one of the new things for this year. And actually, I'll show you that right here. I've got it up here somewhere. I think it's I-96. There we go. So if I'm looking at active and public tickets for I-96. So if you want to see what this looks like and you don't want to like give them money, like don't buy it, but you can see what this looks like when I go through and I buy a waiver. I'm looking at their April 24th event. You can see that their April 24th event is included in their season pass and this punch card and all the different things, right? But there is a waiver type that says pit pass where waiver is required. So if I go through and I add one of these to my cart, add to cart, you'll notice that they have to buy it before the waiver is sent to them. So what will happen is they'll check out, right? They'll pay the $38.38 for the $35 waiver. So if you're curious about our fee structure, it's $1.90 plus 4%. So on a $35 ticket, it's a total of $3.38 in fees, not astronomical. But they'll check out and they'll buy this waiver. Once that's done, they'll be confronted with a screen that asks for their phone number, and then the waiver will be delivered to their phone, and they'll be able to go in and buy it, or go in and fill it out, except take a picture of themselves with their phone and then submit. And once that's submitted, they'll get another text with the QR code with their waiver. And so that's all you have to do at the back gate, right? They'll present you that QR code. You'll say, is that the same person in the picture? Yes. You'll scan the QR code to make sure it scans, just like any other ticket that you would have through My Race Pass, and then put the wristband on them and go, right? So literally it's verify picture, scan ticket, give them wristband, they're out the door. So we can definitely speed up that back gate and make that information much more accessible through our waiver process. So again, super, super excited about what that looks like. The next option that we've got in here is BOGOs. So this is another situation where I think My Race Pass is good at building things and bad at naming things, but we didn't know what else to call this. So we called it buy one, get ones, or BOGOs. This feature will allow you to add a specific deal to your tickets, right? So if I go into a future one, I add buy one, get one. I can say, if I buy 2 adult general admission tickets, I get 1, kids general admission ticket, or whatever you want to do here, for either $5 off or 20% off or 100% off or whatever you want to do, right? So this is classic buy one get one. It's classic deal. This has never been available through My Race Pass in the past up until very recently. We released this very recently, but this is another thing we're really excited about, just to give you more options to give your fans to feel like they're getting a deal. If you wanted to look at an example here, I've got Hagerstown is, I think, one of the first ones to ever actually put this out into the public to make this happen. So if at Hagerstown, if I go to their August 22nd event, tickets August 22nd, I'm shown right away. If you buy an adult general admission, you get $10 off another adult general admission. So their tickets are $10. So that means that we should get 100% off. They probably should have used the percentage for this, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. So if I put 2 tickets in my cart and I add that to my cart, I've got, well, let me get rid of the waiver. Okay, I've got $12.38 because it's $10 plus the $2.38 in fees for the first ticket. The second ticket is $0. You'll notice that if the ticket is $0, no fees are applied to it, right? So they're getting buy one, get one through Hagerstown, available publicly now for everybody to be able to see and shop for and use and buy and all that kind of stuff. So buy one, get one is another brand new feature for our ticketing platform this year. That's all really exciting stuff. As I look at other things in the ticket view, the other thing that I really want to draw your attention to is this coupon, because there's been some ways that this coupon has been used pretty creatively that I'm really excited to share. The coupon is something that is printed on the voucher that they receive. So when they buy a ticket, the coupon is on the paper that they can print, like it's there for them. So the ways that I've seen that used that I am excited about the creativity on is Winchester Speedway in Indiana just did this here recently and showed it to me. It's not public for purchase yet, so I can't show you the example. But what they've done is they've just created some custom image that is 40% off a Dairy Queen Blizzard. They've partnered with their local Dairy Queen. So everybody who buys a ticket now gets a coupon for a Dairy Queen Blizzard. So Dairy Queen is saying, we want to pay you for advertising, but we want to do something other than just a billboard on the front stretch. And they've said, what if we do this kind of deal to get people who buy tickets through your doors a little bit easier? And then you can track how many of these you take in too, right? So, yeah, just local partnership to be able to build engagement with marketing partners and sponsors using the ticket coupon thing. That's not new, but that's in a different place in the interface to make it a little bit easier to find. But yeah, the new things are the waivers, the buy one, get one tickets. We're really excited about all of those things. So everything I've showed you so far can be applied to both advanced tickets and our normal ticket process. And the difference between that is just if you have a reserved map or if you don't have a reserved map. So if you don't have a reserved map and everything you're doing is general admission, this is what it looks like, right? And we've looked at this interface a couple of times with the other examples. It's a drop down to purchase how many of each ticket type you want to buy. We display the regular ticket price and then what the total is with fees right on the front. So there's no guesswork on what's going to happen there. All available for you, all good to go there. Everything works there, okay? That's our general admission style ticketing. These things can also be applied to a reserved seating map. And there's been some things that we've done to reserved seating maps as well that I'm really excited about that I want to show you here. So if I go to an event with a reserved seating map, like Brownstown Speedway, all of these same ticket types can still apply. They can still be a part of a multi-day ticket package or a season pass or whatever else. But I can go in and I can pick my spot. I can pick, okay, I want to sit under the covered part of the grandstand. I want to sit in section E. I want to buy seats, right? So that can be applied to an individual event. One of the things that is new that gets me excited is my ability, without going through a graphic designer, to label things. So in the past, some of you that are in this meeting, as well as some others around the country, have said when there's a general admission section, it just kind of shows as a green box on the screen and it's confusing. Well, now I can label this, right? I can label the general admission seats. Easy to understand, easy to read. I can label walkways. I can do all those types of things. There's a pole in this grandstand, that kind of stuff. But I can label it on the screen. I can also change the color of the things that are on the screen. So when I go to Lake Ozark, for instance, they have a bunch of general admission style things, right? General admission and pit passes. But now I can change the color and label things on the screen. So for their camping spots, we can make these all different colors based off of 30 amp or 50 amp or dry. And I'm sure that Callie is looking at this and thinking about WISSOTA 100, and so am I.
This is great.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah. So, I mean, I can do all those things. We can have the spot numbers on the screen. We can do all of that. There's one thing that I will say that I've been asked for that I don't like doing on this and probably will never do on this. A lot of folks have asked me to do a pit stall map and then put the driver's name that's in each spot so they can easily see it. And I understand why, but it just muddies up the screen. It doesn't look good. There's too much text on the screen for the size of the boxes. So I am being pushed to being more comfortable with the spot numbers on the spots if sizing allows, but I don't think we'll ever do full names on the spots. But either way, like, you know, when you think reserved seating, I don't want you to think just, okay, we don't do reserved grandstands, so there's no reason for me to have this. Now, you can think of this as reserved camping spots or reserved pit stall parking. And pit stall parking could mean for an individual event, or it can mean for buying your pit stall on a season-long basis. We've done a ton of pit stall maps this year. So if there's ever anything where you find yourself going on Facebook and saying, I have these spots available and these spots available, and you have to text me or Venmo me or call me or whatever to claim your spot, that's a pain in the ass. That's a huge time commitment, and you're going to be better off if you can have an interface do that for you and then deliver the money to your bank account without having to think about it. We want to help you do that. We want to try to make things as efficiently as possible for your racetracks. So if you have any questions on anything online ticketing, please let us know. We've crossed a lot of hurdles. We don't run into very many hurdles anymore that we can't cross. I'll just be honest with you. We've done a lot with it. So, yeah, I don't know. If you want to go to the Open Trailer Classic in Missouri and you want to purchase Spot 50, it's available for you. All that kind of stuff. So, yeah, general admission seating, reserved seating for everything with single events. The next thing I want to talk about beyond that is anything that isn't just for a single event. We have two options there. We have the packages option and the punch cards option. The packages option hasn't changed much from last year. And what it is it's meant for a multi-day event. So you've got a 3-day event or a 2-day event or a 4-day event or however you want to do that. And you want to be able to sell tickets in a package for both days or all 3 days of your event. That's what this tool is for. Okay. So I can go in here, and whether it's reserved seating or general admission seating, it doesn't matter how you do it. I can tell the program, I want to have this 2-day ticket package, and I want to apply the discount because the package price is going to be cheaper than buying the individual days. And you can either apply the discount to the last day of the event or evenly across the events. The reason why that matters is because of a rainout, right? If you're going to refund money for one of the 2 days, do you want to refund the entire the entire discounted amount on one day, or do you want to refund it? You know, for instance, if your individual tickets are $20, that's $40 over 2 days, and the first day rains out. Do you want to refund it at $20 price because the discount is on the last day, or do you want to refund, you know, that discount evenly over the 2 days? So you're refunding, I think it's 25 there instead of 20 or whatever. And then also what you can do here is you can pick the events that are associated. You can pick the ticket types that are associated. So that matters of if you're doing, you know, only your reserved seats for the 2-day package. General admission is all single day, walk up or whatever. You can kind of pick some of those things. So I'm going to kind of show you what that looks like as well. I've got Salem Speedway in here. So they've got their season long. They've got tickets added to every event. So it all works great. They also have a ticket package for their July 3rd and 4th. They've got 2 ticket packages in here. They got a ticket package for their July 3rd and 4th. So when I pick the get package, I am buying an adult ticket at $65. But what that's going to do is that's going to deliver me 2 barcodes, one for the first day, one for the second day. And that's really what kind of like the emphasis here is I'm buying both tickets and one transaction. And if you wanted to do it at a discount, you can do it at a discount. I could have used Salem for the example for everything. I didn't realize they also had waivers. But yeah, so you're buying 2 tickets in one transaction. You're selling them 2 tickets at one time, either discounted or at the regular price or whatever. The second way to sell tickets over multiple days is a punch card. And there's a couple of different ways to do a punch card. One that gets used a lot, 2 that really hardly get used, and I'm looking for ideas on how to do that more. But if I add a punch card, there's 2 ways to do it, or there's 3 ways to do it. There's a season pass, which is the one that gets used a lot. I just talked about all of the pit stall and camping maps that are over the course of a year. So you're reserving your spot for a year. That's how we do that as well. We do it through a season pass. So you're buying 1 QR code that can be scanned at any event of your choosing one time. So just to make sure that that absolutely makes sense, I'm going to use Salem as an example again because they also have a season pass. You're buying this one 2026 season pass. They only have just the adult price available, and it can be scanned one time at all 14 events that have been added, right? So you pick the events that are eligible for the season pass, and then it can be scanned one time. So they're getting one QR code. Fun ways that I've seen this be used. I've seen people have, go in to the past orders in the box office, find all of the season pass sales, print them on sticker paper, stick that sticker paper to the back of like a credit card size piece of plastic, and then give that to their season pass holders on opening night. So it's like, yes, this QR code on the back of this credit card looking device is your season pass. You can scan this every time through the gate, is what it sounds like, right? Season pass. Other ways that I've seen this be used in an interesting way, Eagle Raceway in Nebraska, they have 2 season passes out there that I think is cool, right? They have their they have their silver season pass. They actually have a season pass for their pit stall reservations, and then they have their gold season pass. So their silver season pass, you see, includes 17 events, right? Their gold season pass includes 30 events. So you can have a season pass for your regular season points races, and then you can have a season pass that includes your special events. Like for them, there's like High Limit, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and I think they have one other deal in there. But so you can have multiple season passes out there for multiple purposes. So I think that's important as well. Like they're not just getting into every single one of your events. You can have, hey, regular weekly show season pass that doesn't include specials, that's a little bit cheaper for your budget, whatever. And then you can have your gold season pass or whatever you want to name it that includes all your events, even the major special events. And then just because I can, I'll show you their pit spot reservations in a season pass. They actually only have 3 left. So if you want to pit stall for 2026 at Eagle, get on it. Yeah, different ways to use season passes. Otherwise, season passes kind of are what you expect them to be, right? The 2 most successful ticket sellers with season passes have done them there's really 2 ways that they've been best used. One, get them out before Christmas. We're obviously late in the game for that, but if you're thinking about next year, if you can get your season pass out there between Black Friday and Christmas, that makes a difference. But the one thing that's made the biggest difference in season pass sales is there's a couple of racetracks out there that have started their own newsletters. And if you're selling tickets online, you're capturing these email addresses. So you can start doing a newsletter, and the bump that they get on season pass sales, the first 2 or 3 times that they put it in their newsletter, and if that newsletter goes out once a month, great. If it goes out once every 6 months, great. If you don't have a set schedule and just every time you want to tell people something, great. But more you can communicate with these people, the better off you are. When they put the link to their season pass in their newsletter, sales have exploded in the week following that. Like it's made a difference. So a lot of times I think we all think about, how do I get my tickets in front of people? How do I market this? Just being a little bit creative about how you're doing some of these things can really make a difference. And if you're saying, well, how am I going to get all this information from these people? You can build it up over time selling online tickets. You're capturing this information that way. That's the most valuable thing about doing online tickets, is being able to capture that data. Because if you're sitting here saying, I don't know how to communicate with my fans other than on race night, or if I put out a radio ad, then that's probably step 1 in figuring out how to make your program better, right? It's how to communicate with your fans. Capturing their contact information is a great start to being able to do that. The other 2 options that we've got for these punch cards, the per event and the total punch. The per event allows a set number of redemptions per event. So and this works great for sponsors. Like, I've got Bob's Garage that wants to bring 30 employees out for Bob's Garage night. How do I make that happen for them? Well, I can have a hidden ticket type that you buy through the box office system that is 1 ticket. It's the per event ticket, right? And it allows 30 redemptions. Then all they have to do is get that email, forward that email to 29 other people, and everybody can print the same QR code. And now that QR code can be scanned 30 times at whatever event you choose, right? So if that's, the local Little League Association wants to treat all the kids to a night out, great, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'll send you one QR code that can be scanned 50 times or 20 times or whatever you want it to be. If, however you want that to manage, right? It's one ticket, but you can load as many scans as you want to on it for an individual event. Total Punch is a little bit different. It's very similar in that you can have as many redemptions as you want, but now you can spread this out to where it's not limited per event, right? So I oftentimes think about like minor league baseball. Like if I go to a Sioux Falls Canaries game, I can buy a ticket block to where you can buy 20 tickets that can be used at any game, right? Or any weeknight game or any weekend game. They have these different boxes of tickets, block of tickets. And that's kind of what this is. Let's say you want to buy a ticket that can be scanned 10 times at any weekly regular show. Well, okay, they'll buy that ticket. They know they can be scanned 10 times because that's what it says. And if they scan it 7 times the first night, then they've got 3 scans left the rest of the year. If they scan it all 10 times the second night, boom, they're gone. They're done. They don't have any left. But it's just a way for you to more creatively sell people more tickets in advance. Maybe it's a little bit of a discounted rate, whatever, but just trying to be creative about getting people to your facility, making people feel like they're getting a deal, right? It's the old JCPenney's thing. They always used to do these big coupons, and they weren't actually getting a deal. They were just raising their prices and then giving out a ton of coupons. But as soon as they lowered the prices and took the coupons away, they went bankrupt. Well, because people like to feel like they're getting a deal. That's back in the 90s. That's old news. But that's kind of the idea here, right? Is why do we as racing folks not want to market ourselves the way that every other industry in the country does? They do it that way because it's proven to work. Let's start applying some of these things. We want to try to give you the tools to be able to do it. So those are a few of our ticket options, I guess, that we've got. How does this interact with the app and with websites? Okay. In the My Race Pass app, I can buy tickets to any event. First off, I can go to an events filter and I can see, who's got tickets available. BAPS has tickets available for the practice tonight. I can go tomorrow night, same thing. Creek County Speedway does. So I can filter that way, right? Or if I go in and I search for any racetrack that I've got, so I set these up today. So I'll go Winston Speedway. I don't even know where that's at, but I know that I set up their tickets today. There we go. And now I can look at their schedule. Okay. Oh, May 15th. I don't have anything going on that night. There's tickets available. I can buy tickets directly from the app. Right from the app, I can go in and I can buy tickets for Winston Speedway. And of course, when I share my phone screen to my computer, it doesn't like to display correctly. So that was, maybe not the best example. But tickets are available in app for any one of your events at any point. That's, valuable if I can search through it that way. Same thing works on your website, right? The number one issue that I have with most websites is that they don't get updated, right? If I go to your website and the main page says news, new website launched in 2023, you're doing your website wrong, right? Add news articles. And I always say, if I go to your website and I can't figure out how to buy tickets and I can't figure out, where to go or what to do when I get to your event, then we need to add more information. The nice thing about My Race Pass websites is all of that is integrated. You don't have to do anything to make that work. So if you've got a website through us, you'll know that when I go to the schedule tab, I can see the results for all my past events. You probably know that already. If you've got a video person, the video is available. That happens automatically through your video streaming company. You probably know that already. And then you've got details for events that don't have tickets. I can view all the event details. Well, if you do have tickets added, automatically our schedule page will change to tickets. Now, I'm using Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series as my example for this because I want to show you a little bit about how the My Race Pass network works, right? I could go to Brownstown's website and I could see buy tickets to Brownstown's events. That makes sense, right? Same with BAP, same with Hagerstown. We've looked at some of these, right? Same with Eagle. But I wanted to show you the Lucas website because these tickets were not added by Lucas. These tickets were added by the racetrack. But because Lucas has a website through us and because of the My Race Pass network, everything's linked together, right? If I go to Lucas's website, I can buy these tickets to every single one of these racetracks. It's added there automatically. The same goes for their drivers, right? We build a ton of driver websites. If the driver is going to your event and they've got a driver website, or you go to myracepass.com and search the driver and they've got a schedule posted, you'll be able to buy tickets to your event through the driver profile also. So I don't know if I go, and I really hope that Ricky has something added, because this is a complete guess. I should have been prepared. But if I go to Ricky Thornton Jr.'s website, I know we built his website, and I go to his schedule. Yeah, he's raced a lot, so there we go. But there we go, perfect, it worked out. He's got a schedule added, so I can buy tickets to these events that have tickets added through my race pass on Ricky Thornton Jr.'s website. So there's a lot of sprint car dudes in the area that, that's going to happen with IRA, that's going to happen with Huset's. There's a lot of, there are getting to be more interest in Challenge Series guys. There's getting to be a lot more interest in this kind of thing of drivers having websites. So whether you add the ticket or I'm on the series page, or I'm on a driver page, your tickets are available across the network anywhere that I can look for tickets, including to where if I go to myracepass.com and I just click on the tickets feed, it'll show me all the events with tickets added that I can buy. Your events will be in there as well. So there's a lot more places that you'll be able to see tickets available here beyond just searching for your website. But, easy to have them posted on your website. I also, actually, if we're just working with a regular website, I really recommend to have a buy tickets button somewhere available for people to see on the main page of your website and in the header, so they can see it on every screen, but then in the schedule page also. So, all that kind of stuff. The only other things that I'll tell you on tickets is that if you've done tickets in the past, we've always done barcodes. We're switching to QR codes. Again, we've tried to tell everybody that 100 times. Hopefully you've seen it. It really probably won't affect anybody other than people who scan using the MyRacePass app. And if you scan using the app, it's just going to make it infinitely easier to scan, right? Cell phone cameras are built for QR codes, not for barcodes. So it just should make things better there. Yeah, and then this is, I don't know, this is a little bit of inside information here. In the next couple of weeks, before most of your seasons start, we're going to start a driver referral program. So the drivers that have claimed their profiles can have a code, and they can put on social media or wherever they want, I guess, to, if you're buying tickets to so-and-so racetrack or any racetrack across the MyRacePass network, use this referral code, and then that referral code can be tracked all year. So if you've got, a fan appreciation night where you're giving drivers tickets, drivers can instead say, use this referral code to buy, and then you can start to track which drivers have given out the most tickets or which drivers have created the most sales. So what you're doing is, yes, it can be fun and interesting for the drivers to say, I sold more tickets than you, but really what you're doing is you're turning all of your drivers into salespeople without them realizing it. And that's, kind of the point of that. And, at first I, said, we'll see how this goes. But actually, I think as we go along here, that's going to be something that drivers get excited about and is really going to pay dividends for racetracks, is having drivers going on their social media feeds and them saying, buy tickets to, Madison Speedway this weekend. If you do, you'll be put into a drawing for a t-shirt. Drivers are going to start doing that kind of stuff, and it's going to create sales for you, and they're not going to realize that they're your salesman. So I'm pretty excited about that new feature as well. I did see a ticket or a question come through. We know how much the per ticket fee will be on box office sales. 10 cents. 10 cents a ticket in the box office. Online sales in advance, $1.90 plus 4%. Box office is going to be 10 cents. That's a lot quickly. I understand. The only other thing that I'm going to show here is the analytics screen. But before I do that, any questions on any of that stuff that you want to throw in the chat or you want to ask out loud before we look at the analytics page? Because I know that's a lot of stuff. Cool. All right. In that case, analytics. Analytics shows a lot of stuff, a lot of information in here. Heat map, right? Where are people coming from in a visual indicator? That's nice. But really, as you scroll down the page is where we start to get into the nuts and bolts of why this is cool, right? Now I'm seeing top cities, right? What municipalities are buying tickets to my events? All this should do is say, God, where should I target my advertising? Where should I take out newspaper ads and radio ads or TV if that's what you do? Or, target social media can be geographically targeted, those types of things. Where should I target my advertising? Distance traveled, how far away are my ticket buyers coming? Are all of them local? Are all of them not local? That kind of stuff. purchase dates, how far in advance are they purchasing, as in when should I make my tickets available for the first time, prices and types, right? What types of tickets are people buying in advance, gender and age demographics. You can get all of the same analytics for each individual event, as well as the ticket holders for each individual event that we already looked at. All of that kind of stuff is here. We are now closing in on a dozen people that have told me in some form or fashion that I've taken the data from your analytics page, I've exported it, I've brought it to my either Chamber of Commerce or Board of Tourism or, state or community, whatever, all of those kinds of places. And I've gotten granting or funding or backing because I can prove that I'm bringing people in from out of county or out of state, from tourism boards and stuff like that. So we always talk about at these RPM shows and these promoter conferences, try to partner with the city or the state as best you can. Try to be, a good neighbor or a good whatever. This is a part of that, right? This is hey, we're not just trying to survive out here. We're bringing in people and potential tax revenue that nobody else in our community can do, right? Like, show these people that. Give these people information about what you're doing. It's not just, we'll try not to be so loud and we'll try not to run so late. It's, look at the positive economic impact we're having in the community. Because I'm telling you, granting and funding is out there, and people have taken advantage of it just by being good partners with their community. And that's what this analytics page will show you and can do. Two things that I forgot. One, when I am looking at the customer report screen, there is, in this screen, this is where you can process individual refunds, right? So if you're running an event, you get one person that calls you and says, I can't make it, my dog died, this is a sad day for us. Okay, fine, I'll refund you individually, check the box, issue refund, okay? Simple as that. That's if you're refunding one person individually, okay? Same is true if that person calls you and says, you have a reserved seating map and I bought section H, row 5, and I wanted row 6, and this is awful and I can't sit by my, my dog groomer anymore. Check the box, exchange tickets, right? Now I can exchange section row seat to put those people into a new spot. That especially comes in handy if you're doing pit stalls, right? We've had this a lot. And Open Trailer Nation Sport Compact guy shows up and buys a pit stall right on the big trailer late model row. And no matter how many times you've asked them not to do it, they still do it. Now I can go in here and I can exchange him to the back row where he's supposed to be, and I can send him a new voucher. All set, right? Second thing that I forgot is if I'm looking at the customer's report, or I'm sorry, if I'm looking at the individual ticket date, not the customer's report, how do I claim my money? How do I get my money, right? Step 1, send us an ACH form so we know what bank account to send it to. Step 2, confirm a refund, right? I click this button. If I type complete, we send the money directly to your bank account the following Monday after the event. We send it after the event so that we can handle refunds if it rains out. But complete, claim your ticket money. Type in refund, then we refund the customer. We refund the full purchase amount. We don't keep the fees. Some folks do that, I know. We don't. If your ticket's $20, they probably spent $22.50 or whatever. We're going to refund them the $22.50, not just the $20. That's been a question before as well. So that's how I complete. That's how I refund the entire event if it rained out. There's also a process on the back end to where if an event rains out, you can either turn that, or you can migrate those tickets to a new event, right? So, Friday of your major event rains out, you're going to have a rain date of Sunday. Okay, just migrate all those tickets to the Sunday event. There's also a process in here. Doesn't have an interface yet, but we can do it if you call us, to where we can take that rain out and we can turn that rain out into a punch card that's good for one scan at any event of your choosing, meaning you can basically just turn that into a rain check, right? Okay, this ticket is unredeemed, and now you can use it at any weekly show moving forward. So we can do that as well, whether it's a rain check, a migrate to a specific event, or a complete refund, all of that kind of stuff. We have the ability to do that way. And I think that's all that I have on tickets. I know that I can talk for a long time about tickets, and for that I apologize. But I think that's all I've got. We've touched on some website stuff here. There isn't a whole lot in terms of websites that is new. So I will, I won't go a ton here into our website tools. But let me open up, I don't know, I always blank on a track that has a website through us. There we go. Jackson Motorplex. I'll do that. So now I'm just going to touch on some website things, right? First off, there's a lot of tabs at the top of the screen. If you've got a lot of tabs, it's probably going to be mostly custom stuff. Let me do this differently. Let me go. But there are certain tabs that you'll have that are automated in terms of what's in here, what you can do, right? So that's going to start with the schedule tab. Because you're building a schedule in season management, you'll never have to update your schedule again in My Race Pass. You no longer have to duplicate that work because that schedule is here already, right? That also includes results. Remember, this details turns into results after the event is over. Anybody can view your results after your race is done. It's all there. It's all integrated because you're using race management. So the two most high trafficked areas of your website, your schedule and your results, now display the schedule automatically, display the results automatically, and also display your tickets that are for sale automatically. Callie?
I just wanted to let everybody know that we have made a lot of changes recently to our WISSOTA website, and you guys go through our website and take a look at it, because it is actually, these guys have helped us a lot. It's getting really cool.
Yeah, we do. I mean, yes, we have. I've seen a lot of tickets come through our ticketing system about the WISSOTA website. So I'm really excited about how it turned out and how it looks. The branding looks great. Some of those things look great. I'm excited about it. The other thing that's going to be automated through here is the points tab, and I'll use WISSOTA's as an example. For your regular track points on your regular track points website, after you calculate points at the end of a race night, within about a half hour, it's going to be updated on your website. So the third most trafficked area of your website typically is points. We have the data to back that up, and it's done automatically. So you'll never have to do extra work to update your schedule, your results, your ticket links, or your points on your website because you have a My Race Pass site. So those things are awesome, right? So then the question becomes, okay, well then what should we do on our website? This should open you up for your creativity, or if you have a website person or a social media person, their creativity. What that primarily amounts to for a lot of our sites is news and media, right? So if I go to news, now I can start writing news articles about, okay, the Race for the Million entry portal is now open. Great, that's awesome. All that kind of stuff. I can start building news articles. Where that becomes valuable is, and just like with the tickets, that can go across the network. So if, I don't know, Brandon Overton is going to race with Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Cherokee Speedway or something, Brandon Overton can write a news article, and it can show up on Cherokee Speedway and on Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series website. Same thing in the app. The news is available in the app. Same thing on myracepass.com. It's all available on myracepass.com as well. So you can start to publish news articles and start to see them spread through the network, sometimes also in our own newsletter that we send to fans, and especially if it's got a ticket link attached to it. And you can start to have that news, communicate with your fans a little easier. The second way news really matters is everybody can go to the My Race Pass app and favorite any network. And so anybody who has favorited your Tracker Series network, if you write a news article, they get a push notification on their device telling them that there's a news article on their network, right? So for me, Houston Speedway in South Dakota creates a news article. I'm going to get a push notification on my device. I'm going to be able to click it, go to the link to the news article, and it's all there. So if you're wanting to communicate with your fans, news articles are the best way to do it, right? And we're going to get into digital ads on why that's important as well in just a minute here. The second thing that I would tell you is media, right? Photos and videos. You can add photos and videos to your websites as well. Asphalt sprint cars are weird looking machines, man. So again, what do people come to your website for? Probably a schedule, probably news. What do they stay on your website for? Probably things like this, right? Things that capture people's attention. So really encourage you to utilize these to get creative, right? And to start being able to fill your websites with content that people want to see. The only thing that I'll tell you on the photos and videos is photos are local uploads, right? You upload them from your machine. Videos are web links, so you put it on like a YouTube or a Vimeo or something, and that's how you get it on the website. So we can get into the specifics of that. So why is it so important to have your people at your website instead of just, on social media? One, because you never know how big your social media target audience is, because you never know what the algorithm is from Facebook and X and whatever else, right? So you actually probably aren't communicating with most of your fans on most of your Facebook posts, and where the website you can. But the second one is digital advertising network. This is the one thing that I want to spend some time on, because we're doing a lot with it, including some with WISSOTA and including some with tracks that are in here right now with our digital ad network. The simplest way to explain it is that through our DA network, our digital ad network, we can sell ads to marketing partners at a corporate level because of how big our network is, right? When you throw in the app and our newsletters and all of our websites and all of the things that we can do, that matters, right? That comes into play. So when you scroll through some of our websites, and actually I think I picked an example. It's not one. Let's go Wild West Shootout. I'm sure that they are. You go through some of our websites, you're going to start seeing things on like ponchos here, right? Or you're going to start seeing, Molly Motorsports, that kind of stuff on some of our websites. A lot of that stuff is there. And if you start going to news pages, you're going to start to see built in a news article for iBox Springs. That's called native advertising. So between the VRBO and, the GottaRace.com and all that kind of stuff, between the banner ads and the native advertising, it's called our digital ad network. And the way that helps racetracks is that we share revenue from our digital ad network quarterly back to racetracks based off the page views, right? We basically just split it in half and share it back with all the tracks. So it's based off of, page views on your website. So if you're writing a news article, do not, for the love of God, please do not put an entire press release on Facebook, think you accomplished something, and think everybody's going to see it. Not going to work that way, right? Put the press release in a news article. You can share the link to that news article to Facebook, where it gives you the headline in the first couple sentences, right? People click on it, or people click on it out of the push notification that your news article sends, and it leads the traffic back to your website. Lead the traffic back to your website. Because, Callie goes to RPM down in Florida. She knows that we hand out checks to people. We bring checks to people. We give you money. Sometimes the checks are small. Sometimes the checks are big. It depends on what kind of traffic your website gets. But we bring checks to people. We send you money quarterly for the ad revenue that you generate. We want to do that.
I did absolutely nothing, and I got a check.
Yeah. Our digital ad brochure says "earn money while you sleep," which is, kind of a cliched line. But yeah, the point is that you're doing nothing to earn this, and we're just bringing it to you, right? That's just another example of having a My Race Pass site. The other way that the digital ad network can be pretty cool is, let's say you have a sponsor at your racetrack who asks about a digital footprint, or you have a sponsor at your racetrack who says, I want to do more than a billboard, or I want to be able to track how many people are actually coming to my business or my website based off of this. Well, we can sell you at a wholesale cost space on our ad network that you can go sell at whatever retail cost you want to dream up, right? And now you can start to give some of these people a digital footprint through us for advertising, and you can earn revenue from that. Again, we don't charge you for that unless you use the space. So if you come to us, we're not going to say we need the money up front. It's absolutely not how that works. But we'll give you a very discounted wholesale cost of ad network revenue or ad network space. You can sell that to a marketing partner who, maybe it's a local NAPA store, or maybe it's you. Maybe you want to buy advertising space for yourself to sell tickets to every racetrack in southern Minnesota, or whatever, however you want to handle that. But we can do that. We call that a pass-through advertising network, right? So we can use you to pass your sponsor on to us. So you're selling them a package. They never have to talk to us at all. You're selling them a digital ad package on our network. You're making whatever money you deem that to be worth. And then your sponsor's ads start appearing on our network, our sites, our app, whatever. and we can start going through it that way. So there's a few different things that we can do with our digital ad network, whether you're a business owner or a racetrack or even a driver. We get a lot of pass-through advertising through drivers. Drivers have really taken to this. And our DA network can help you. There's many of our website clients through the first 2 years probably pay for their website with our digital ad revenue. I don't want to say that's everybody, and I don't want to guarantee an amount of money or anything like that. Like, everything's different across the country culturally. I don't know what your track does compared to other tracks, but a lot of people, that initial development fee is paid for in 2 to 3 years. It's a free website. You get free money after 2 or 3 years. So that's our websites and digital ad network, the things that I think are worth presenting to you as sort of newer things. Callie, I know that you just unmuted. Do you have something?
I was just going to say that all the tracks do pay a nominal, a fairly low yearly fee to My Race Pass. Use some of these things to get some of that money back. It's easy. Do it.
Yeah. Whether that's renaming your fantasy competition or digital ads or ticket coupons or renaming your classes for sponsors. Dakota just yelled at me, even though he's muted for that, because he said not to do that on Monday. Whatever. If people are trying to give you money, find a way to take it from them. And if we can help do that, we want to do it. That's what I had to present. I really wanted to talk a lot about tickets, and I feel like I did. I showed you some of the newer things with the websites, how those websites can kind of interface differently, and talked a lot about digital ads, which I wanted to do. If you've got questions, please put them in the chat. If you've got feedback for us, you can email us at any time, support@myracepass.com. We'll get back to you as fast as we can. We always try to. This time of year is a little busy because everybody's ramping up for their season, but typically we can get back to you same day, if not next day. Let us know if you have anything at all. I'll stop the recording here. If anybody wants to hang out and ask any questions at all, please feel free to do so. I'll hang out for a while.
I need to do a question.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Yep.
I'm going to put you on the spot because we all listened to you tonight. I want you to ask a question.
Okay. And does it have to be about what we talked about?
No.
Great. Question it. This is bad because you asked a sprint car guy to list a trivia question, so you're going to have to bear with me. All-time winningest sprint car driver at Houston Speedway. Answer, Terry McCarl. That is the question and answer. It's a sprint car one. That's what you get, Callie.
Perfect. I'm good with that.
There we go.
Don't tell Josh.
All right. Well, I mean, it's recorded, so we'll just assume he won't watch the YouTube video.
Right. And also, with what you did talk about tonight, I'm pretty sure we at the WISSOTA 100 or throughout a year with WISSOTA and our website and everything through you guys, we use absolutely everything that you talked about tonight. And it has made wonders. It has done wonders for what we do and how easy it is to go into the WISSOTA 100 with tickets and things on the website. And we're redoing some stuff on the website. So everybody that's on tonight, take advantage of all of this. It's made a world of difference for us. And also do check out the WISSOTA website because you'll be able to see then, once I start approving schedules, how you guys see your schedules on here. And one more way to know if your stuff is sanctioned and things like that. So check out our website. Could you see the schedule on here yet? If I haven't, go over to tracks, go over to the second one over.
What am I looking at?
About. Go over to about. Yep. WISSOTA tracks. Everybody that I have sanctioned, all of your stuff, all of you guys, your stuff is in here because you're sanctioned with WISSOTA. Go in here, look at what everybody else sees when they go to the WISSOTA website. See if your stuff is correct. See if it's coming up properly. All of that stuff. Check that out. The other thing is the schedule that you can see when I start approving.
Yeah, right now it'll be empty, but yeah.
Yes, it is empty. Or can you go back to a date last year that would be on here? Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
This
Yeah, all the
is
results are
how,
clear.
yep. Everybody that ran Saturday, July 7th or whatever it is, everybody's on here. If there's tickets to be had, they're on here. There's results. There all kinds of stuff. So if you do not see your stuff in our schedule somehow, you know that I don't have it in or something like that. So check out our website and you can get some ideas for your own website through kind of what we do.
Yep. I shouldn't have picked that date. A lot of you rained out. That probably brought some negative feelings, but yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have any questions for us, please ask. Like I said, I'm going to quit the recording now and I'll hang out for a while just in case anybody does have any questions.